It's weird because I feel like I have so much to share, but it's like something is holding me back. Like there's some type of unseen resistance. I was sitting in my studio looking at all the ideas that I had for my YouTube channel, what I was going to start talking about, and nothing on that list was resonating with me. So then I decided to start something new. I opened my Google Doc, I started writing out a ton of ideas, and I was like, yeah, this. And I still didn't like any of them. I was like, I don't know what to say. Maybe because it's my first YouTube channel, it's my first video, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to talk about? I don't know what to say. So I was just sitting on my chair in my studio and I was looking at the ceiling and I had the Google Doc open and I just wrote, I don't know where to start. I literally wrote that in the Google Doc. I don't know where to start. Once I wrote that, everything flowed after. And I was writing this out because I wanted to get an idea of what I wanted to talk about, some ideas that I want to say, so that I know what I want to talk about in this video, so that I'm not rambling on and going off topic. So I wanted to, have intention. And everything just flowed from there. It's not about making this perfect video. It's about expressing what I'm going through right now. It's about living in the now. It doesn't have to be this long curated thing that my mind is trying to tell me that it needs to be. My mind is like envisioning this massive amount of work, this big production, this big thing that I'm supposed to do, and I'm supposed to make it. My mind was getting in the way. And that's when I realized that's what this video is going to be about. Getting out of your own way. Sometimes we overcomplicate things, and it's a form of self sabotage. We may know what we want to do, but not know where to start. So we mentally pull from our favorite creators. We see all of their perfect videos or our perception of perfect videos, and we think mine has to be like that. And, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, you don't even start the video. It's like you're creating, or your mind is creating mental roadblocks, already comparing yourself to others when you don't even know their story. You don't know how long it took them. You don't know how many years they've been on the journey, perfecting it, figuring out their style, finding themselves. And we're comparing ourselves to um somebody's G, and we're only at our A step. You know what I mean? At some point you got to ask yourself, why am I setting myself up like this? And how can I change it? It has to become a conscious effort. Instead of thinking, how do I do this? I don't know how to do this. Where should I start? Let's switch the perspective. Why don't we say something different to ourselves? That's what I've been practicing lately. Anytime I feel some sort of resistance or I have a negative thought or a limiting thought, I start to practice saying the opposite. I start to switch the perspective to gratitude. I can say something like, for instance, I'll use this first video as an example. Wow, I'm so grateful that I get to do this. Oh my gosh, wow, I'm so grateful that I even was able to get a camera and record this. I've been recording on my phone for the longest time, and now I have a camera to record on. Like, wow, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, I get to write down all of these ideas. Like, switching that perspective is what can kind of take you out of that rut, and also allowing yourself to flow, to allow the ideas to come, to relax into them. I find the more that I do this consistently, the more I'm able to reprogram my mind. And it's a process. It's not going to come overnight, but the more I do this over and over and over again, I'm able to catch myself more often. So, yeah, sometimes I still get these thoughts, but now I have the awareness to catch them and switch them, or know that, okay, you're thinking this, okay, let me take a step back. Rather than sitting in that thought and then digging yourself lower and lower and lower, why don't I observe it, become the observer of the thoughts, rather than being what my mind is trying to tell me it is, when it's only telling me that to keep me safe. And by safe, by whichever way it was set up to be like, whichever way it was basically programmed to be like, whatever came into you as a child from your peers, from family, from society, building up that mind. And so it knows I'm stepping outside and doing something new. It's not comfortable because it's never done this before. So it wants to bring me back to my comfort zone. And how can it do that? It can do that by placing imaginary limiting beliefs in my mind. It can do that by pulling from things that I've seen in the past and loved, and placing it there and saying, you're not like this, so you can't start, or whatever kind of crazy thing it wants to pull from. And then if you buy into it, you're like, oh, you're right. Like, think about it. Like, who's listening? You're listening to the thoughts. So who is actually listening to those thoughts? So at this point, we have to make a choice. You could listen, or you could not listen. And you can choose to continue the same pattern, or you can choose to not. But just know that when you make the other choice, it's not going to be necessarily a straight line and easy road. It's going to come with some discomfort. It's going to come with patience, consistency, effort, a different part of your energy. But then at that point, if you knew that by making the other choice to not live in that pattern anymore would result in getting the things you want, and not just getting, feeling the way you want to feel, feeling abundance, feeling lighter, feeling happier, feeling more confident in your own skin and at ease with yourself, you got to ask yourself then, would it be worth it?
If he could do it,
This isn't a movie.
he believed in himself. And you can too.
Man, you're gonna put it on me like that?
You can do anything that you want. You can get singing lessons, get a better job, make more money. You could be even like rich. You could live in the White House someday. You could be president.
Me?
Do what you want to do. It's not about it's not up to other people.